Well, you've done it. This is it. There's nothing new in this module right here. We're really going to talk about kind of wrapping things up and buttoning things up and just give a quick overview, give you some more resources so that you can go forward. But that's all the material. You've done it. You've completed the values based relationship course. So, congratulations. But now let's talk about putting it all together, right? So, just an overview. Here's the things that we talked about, the things that we reviewed, and everything that you've learned through this course, which is we talked about values and needs both for yourself and how you and your partner can contribute those to design a relationship that meets both your values and your needs. We talked about the many ways that we communicate and the importance of open communication for creating, establishing, troubleshooting, and maintaining relationships. We talk about the importance of trust and intimacy, and if that's a specific focus area, look above, look back up to communication and needs and values to try to troubleshoot those. We talked about the importance of respect, and empathy in a relationship, both for you and from you within your relationship. We talked about boundaries and expectations and how they're not the negative thing that everybody thinks they are, and how very vital and important and healthy they are to create and maintain values-based relationships. We talked about the influence of culture and diversity on you and on the relationship, and the wonderful benefits that those have for you, both personally and professionally, by opening up your mind to that. And then finally, we wrapped all that up with how to maintain healthy relationships, assuming we get them into that place, right? So, as I alluded to in a couple of previous modules, I built these in a way such that if you're having problems in a specific area, look to the preceding modules for help. Okay, so if you're having trouble with boundaries and expectations, you need to do a check on respect and empathy. You need to check your trust and intimacy. You need to review your communication, and you need to make sure that you've clearly defined your values and your needs in the relationship. So they kind of work in order like that. If you work from top to bottom or from left to right, depending on how your brain organizes this type of stuff, everything really does start with your values and your needs as an individual before you can ever hope to create or maintain a healthy relationship. It starts with creating and maintaining a healthy identity. So all these things feed into each other. So remember that if you're having a specific challenge in your relationships or in your life, look to the preceding module to help you. Odds are there's something that's quite off in that area, which is bleeding forward into the next area. Okay. Goals for you, I would hope, would be applying this to every relationship in your life. You may feel like there's a relationship or two that you don't have much power in, or that you don't have much say over, and the relationship is just going to be the way that it is. I'm thinking about parents, actually. We as children of a parent seem to believe that our parents have the majority vote in that our relationship with them throughout our life, but that's actually very false. So I would challenge you to kind of look at every relationship in your life and recognize the amount of power and the amount of value that you bring to that relationship, and how important it is for you and for that relationship to set some decent boundaries and have a really healthy relationships in your life. And this should apply to all the relationships in your life. I hope that you have learned quite a bit about communicating in a really authentic and active way. So continue to practice those communication skills and use them when you're working with conflict resolution. The irony of that is the better you get at communicating, the less you need those communication skills for conflict resolution, because you have fewer and fewer conflicts in your life. Practicing empathy, respect, and understanding is very important in the relationship. But here's the zinger to that: practicing empathy, respect, and understanding with yourself is just as important, if not more important, than practicing them with your relationship partners. So don't forget to give yourself some grace. Don't forget to show yourself some respect and some empathy for what you're going through. And take a little minute and congratulate yourself for doing the work that you've already done. You should be really proud of how far you've come. I do have some additional resources. I mentioned it just in the module prior You can always go to that website right there, /read, and hit my blog, and you can search on very specific things. I go into more detail. It is only written, but it is a free resource for you to explore. I do also offer group and one-on-one coaching. You can find that at therealcharlesbrown.com. Schedule a strategy call with me and we can talk about which one of those might be right for you. I have some personal and professional opinions on who's right for group coaching and who really needs one-on-one coaching and vice versa. So I'm happy to have that conversation with you and talk to you about your next steps, especially if your challenges are internal and they're just kind of manifesting in your relationships. That's definitely something that we can talk about. I would really appreciate some course feedback, to be honest with you, especially if you noticed a glaring gap in this training and in this material where I was talking about a specific concept that was really interesting to you, and then I just kind of changed subject and went on with something else. If there's a gap in there, I would really appreciate you taking the time, either just comment below to this module and provide that feedback, or you can email me at therealcharlesbrown.com, and that'll go right into my inbox. Just cite what course you're talking to, of course, and then give me your feedback. And I really appreciate it. My entire life, personal and professional, is built on the principles of continuous improvement. So your feedback is very, very important to me. This course doesn't mean anything without you. It's just me babbling into a camera. So making it valuable and filling in all the gaps and making it really applicable to you is a very important part of the process to me. So please don't hesitate to do that. And then finally, I want to thank you. The same principle here. It doesn't really mean much for me to just kind of babble out my thoughts and my ideas if it doesn't reach the right audience and doesn't reach the right ears. So I want to thank you for entrusting me in this part of your journey. I want to encourage you to, again, celebrate the accomplishment that you've just made and celebrate the amount of effort that you're putting into this, and recognize that everyone has value, especially you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again in another course.